Meantime, if you've been following the news, Chicago releasing yet another video of a black teenager killed by police bullets. This one of 17-year-old Cedric Chapman, shot dead while running from a stolen vehicle back in 2013. Meanwhile, new reports out suggesting Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel was a lot more in the loop about another 17-year-old's police-involved shooting death than he initially claimed. As the pressure mounts for him to step down, our legal panel is here to weigh in on this issue. Robert Schalk is a defense attorney and a former prosecutor, and Rachel Self is a trial attorney. Thank you both for joining us this afternoon. So, Chicago, it just keeps getting, so heated and so intense in terms of what's been going on between police and the black and Hispanic Latino community. And then you have Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people who have followed this have been asking him to resign. As attorneys, where do you see these cases going, and does it compel the mayor to do that, to resign?
Well, I think that the issue here really, with regard to these young boys being shot and killed by the police, is expressive of a need for more transparency in our government. Mm-hmm. And there's been a significant cover-up in this case where the police tried to keep this video out that just was released for almost 3 years. And then when a judge ordered that it be released, they finally said, oh no, you know what, we'll agree to release it. And the judge came down on them hard, and they said, why are we wasting everyone's money, taxpayer money, everybody's resources to release this video if you were just going to release it already?
Robert, as a former prosecutor, how do you perceive this case? And I mean, how would you have proceeded in terms of bringing either some charges against the police officers and trying to mend the fences as well politically?
When I first started as a prosecutor, one of my first bosses told me the best thing about being a prosecutor and working in government and law enforcement is that you get to do the right thing every single day. And in Chicago, the right thing is not being done every single day. You have a mayor who is saying, I had no idea that a young boy was shot and killed by the police. I had no idea that this video ever existed. Oh, but what a surprise. He was running for re-election and was facing a tough challenge. You have there's a new video that Rachel just outlined that was kept from the public eye for over 1,000 days. You have a police internal review that said the cop was in the wrong until he was fired and let go and his bosses overturned the decision. So the district attorney, the mayor, and the police department are supposed to work together to help everyone in the community. And that's not happening in Chicago. It's very concerning.
And the other thing that happened in this case was the other two boys, because this young gentleman who was shot and killed, he did steal a car, and there were two. Yes, Mr. Chapman. There were two other boys with him at the time. They fled, and they were 10 blocks away when Mr. Chapman was shot and killed. And those two boys were charged with felony murder because the police officer shot this young boy in the commission of this crime. They later reduced it down to robbery, and the boys are serving 10 years in prison. So there's something rotten in Illinois.
And it's rotten to the point that it smells and stinks to the high heavens. I don't want to make it a judgment call, but based on what you're saying,
yeah, no, there's more to it.
So how do you revamp the system so that you win back the trust of the people who live there?
Body cameras.
In its legal system.
Yeah.
Body cameras.
Body cameras.
Is that enough?
Well, I think it's #1 thing that needs to happen, especially in Chicago, in the big areas where you're seeing a rise in gun violence. We saw it in Baltimore. I mean, we're here in New York City. I mean, I think it would protect everybody. Any case, we were talking about it prior to coming out here, any case that either one of us has ever had where there's a dashboard-mounted camera in a car or a body camera on a police officer, it protects both parties.
It leads to the truth.
Absolutely, because it protects the police.
And that's what we want.
And that's what we
want. It protects cops, and it protects civilians.
And it also says to those critics who say, well, it's not the policeman's fault, it says the young thugs who are running around. I mean, you can't keep saying that. You can't keep holding that up as an argument. But so what does Rahm Emanuel have to do to win the trust of the people?
Resign.
Does he have to step down?
Resign, yeah.
Really?
I mean, in my opinion,
wow.
There's nothing he can do further to gain their trust. They were already against him when it came to the first video, and now the second video. I mean, what can he do to say to the public, I'm here to protect you, I'm here to work with the police?
The DOJ is investigating this now, and he has come out and made a statement saying we're all for transparency. transparency now, and the DOJ is now doing a full investigation into excessive force by the police in Chicago. So he's doing everything that he can at this point, short of resigning. Whether or not he's ultimately going to need to resign is a story for another day.
Rachel and Robert, thank you. You know, I'm remembering when he was chief of staff for the president, he said, you know, you make the best of a crisis situation. It seems like he has a lot more work to do. Thank you both.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
All right.